Our call to worship this morning was written by Ian W. Riddell. Come, come, whoever you are. Do you hear that voice calling you, calling us? That voice which calls us together here today in this room, made holy by our presence and by the sacred breath we share in our singing and speaking and silence. That voice which calls us to remember that we are not alone and that we are inextricably linked to all other life, woven into a vast tapestry of existence of which we are a powerful, integral, and holy part. Just as we have been called together here today, we act as the voice, the heart, the hands of another call. The call to walk with the wanderers, sing and dance with the worshipers, proclaim the memory of those who have taken their leave, wrap the despairing and the broken in the arms of love and community, and hold the hands of all of us who have broken our vows and call us back again and again to the covenant and work of justice, humility, and steadfast faithfulness. For this we are here together today. So, my friends, come, yet again come, let us worship together. I'm the Reverend Rachael Hayes, minister of this congregation. I use she, her pronouns. Today we will have a ritual of candle lighting. If you're joining us online, you might choose to have a candle or some other light to light during that part of the service. And now I invite you to say the chalice lighting words with me. We light this flame to invite a world of peace, where we heal the wounds, where we share what we have with one another, where justice is another word for relationship, and we listen for what love has to say. I invite you to rise in body, spirit, heart, and voice to sing our first hymn, Come, Come, Whoever You Are.
So the choir is going to give you a little warm-up, and please join us for the second part of the song, the counterpoint, which goes, though you've broken your vows 1,000 times. So we're going to sing that 3 times, and then we'll begin the other part of the song. So you've broken your vows 1,000 times, though you've broken your vows 1,000 times, though you've broken your vows 1,000 times. Come, come, whoever you are, wanderers, worshipers, lover of leaving, ours is no caravan of despair. Come, yet again come.
Today, Allison and I are going to read you a very old story in 2 different tellings from the Bible and from the Hadith, the way that the Prophet Muhammad told it. And so if any of our kids want to come forward and be closer during this time, you're very welcome as Allison comes to join. Do you all remember how last week in our story about Jonah, there was a scary part, but then it turned out okay? Yeah? Okay, this story gets scary in the middle too, and then everyone is okay at the end of it. Are you ready, Allison? Okay.
This is the story.
There we go.
Okay. This is the story of Hagar and Ishmael
This is the story of Hajar and Ishmael
from the book of Genesis.
from the Hadith of Ibn Abbas.
So, Abraham rose early in the morning and took bread and a skin of water and gave it to Hagar, putting it on her shoulder along with the child, and sent her away. And she departed and wandered about in the wilderness of Beersheba.
Abraham brought Hajar and her son Ishmael while she was suckling him to a place near the Kaaba under a tree on the spot of Zamzam. During those days, there was nobody in Mecca, nor was there any water. So he made them sit over there and placed near them a leather bag containing some dates and a small water skin containing some water, and set out homeward. Hajar followed him, saying, "Oh, Abraham, where are you going, leaving us in this valley where there is no one, nor anything?" She repeated that to him many times, but he did not look back at her. Then she asked him, "Has Allah ordered you to do so?" He said, "Yes." She said, "Then he will not neglect us."
When the water in the skin was gone, she cast the child under one of the bushes.
When the water in the water skin had all been used up, she became thirsty, and her child also became thirsty. She started looking at Ishmael, tossing in agony. She left him, for she could not endure looking at him, and found that the mountain of Safa was the nearest mountain to her on that land. She stood on it and started looking at the valley keenly so that she might see somebody, but she could not see anybody.
Then she went and sat down opposite him a good way off, about the distance of a bowshot, where she said, "Do not let me look upon the death of the child." And as she sat opposite him, she lifted up her voice and wept.
Then she descended from Safa, and when she reached the valley, she tucked up her robe and ran in the valley like a person in distress and trouble, till she crossed the valley and reached the Marwa mountain, where she stood and started looking, expecting to see somebody, but she could not see anybody. She repeated that, running between Safa and Marwa 7 times.
And God heard the voice of the boy, and the angel of God called to Hagar from heaven and said to her, "What troubles you, Hagar? Do not be afraid, for God has heard the voice of the boy where he is. Come, lift up the boy and hold him fast with your hand, for I will make a great nation of him." Then God opened her eyes, and she saw a well of water. She went and filled the water skin with water and gave the boy a drink.
When she reached the Marwa for the last time, she heard a voice and asked herself to be quiet and listened attentively. She heard the voice again and said, "Oh, whoever you are, you have made me hear your voice. Have you got something to help me?" And behold, she saw an angel at the place of Zamzam, digging the earth with his heel till water flowed from that place. She started to make something like a basin around it, using her hand in this way, and the water was flowing out after she'd scooped some of it. And then she drank water and suckled her child. The angel said to her, "Don't be afraid of being neglected, for this is the house of Allah, which will be built by this boy and his father, and Allah never neglects his people." Thank you, Allison. Let's take a breath together. That story is sad and scary in parts, and people have been telling it for thousands of years. I think one of the reasons we tell this story is to remember that we have come through times that are sad and scary before, that help and strength come from unsuspected places. Let's take a moment to think. How do you go forward when things are sad and scary? Does anybody have any idea? Yeah, ask Ben. Make room for the sadness and the pain, and talk it out with somebody. Yeah. Yeah. Look for a friend and help each other.
I try to stay just in that moment and take it one moment by moment.
Stay in the moment and take it one moment by moment. Space for one more, if anything is coming up. Yeah. There's wisdom in this room. Thank you. Thank you for having this moment with me. Laurel, would you like to tell us what is happening in religious education today?
So today we're going to be doing some apple tastings. We have a bunch of different types, and I hope you guys are excited for that. And we're going to be reading a story called The Berry Song, which is starting our Indigenous narratives and learning about that. So, yeah.
Thank you, Laurel. Okay, and Nancy, what's happening when JYG?
We are exploring our Christian roots, and we're going to specifically focus on the historical Jesus and decide if his words mean anything to us today.
Okay. Thank you, Laurel and Nancy. RE classes are now invited to go downstairs, and the rest of the congregation, I invite you to rise in body and spirit to sing our next hymn, number 199 in the gray hymnal, Precious Lord, Take My Hand.
Precious Lord, take
hearts is no caravan of despair, says the adaptation of Rumi in our first hymn. Did anyone else struggle to sing that line this morning, full of awareness of the suffering of the world? Our hearts break over and over again because we haven't given up on a better world. I, like you, am a person who cries when I read the news. Some of you read the news and cry because it's personal, because you fear for the safety of loved ones, because your ancestors shake your bones inside you when you read and when you wait for the next line and the next. Our hearts break over and over again because we haven't given up on a better world. Our hearts break for so many reasons, and whichever reason is on your heart is not wrong. Many of us this weekend remember that almost 2 years ago, Hamas attacked Israel, killing 1,200 people and taking 251 as hostages into Gaza. Israel, in turn, has for the last 2 years carried out a siege, assault, and occupation of Gaza that has killed 66,000 Palestinians in Gaza, roughly 1 in every 32 people in the last 2 years. Our hearts break. I tried to make sense of this tragedy by reading more news, more analysis, going back and back for more context and more to various political arrangements, to the British Empire, to the Crusades, and even further. And oh, my heart, there is no way for my heart to understand the pain of this loss. And whether we join with the international authorities in calling this a genocide or not, watching a government dehumanize and starve millions of people, remembering that our own government is complicit, our hearts break. The ledger will never balance. None of those who have died can ever be replaced. The world will miss their voices forever. So I tried to stop making sense as best I could with information, and I turned to story. When I read the stories of children in Gaza who don't have food or clean water, I hear the story of Ishmael inside it. Ishmael, a child dying of thirst in the desert, and his mother Hajar, who refuses to watch him die. We heard 2 versions of this story today read in parallel. The version that Allison read from the book of Genesis is the side that I know better, the one my heart remembered and reached for in my meaning making. The version that I read, that one is a version told by the prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, as recounted by his cousin Ibn Abbas. They are incredibly similar, as the Torah was known to Muhammad. Muhammad's version is part of the foundation story of Mecca. Just as Ishmael became the forefather of the Arab peoples, what we heard today is only a sliver of a much longer story. The part that you may remember, or not, is that Abraham is the father of both Ishmael and Isaac. That Hagar, Ishmael's mother, was the slave of Abraham's wife Sarah. That Sarah, fearing that she and Abraham would die childless, told Abraham to impregnate Hagar. that Sarah eventually becomes pregnant as well, and when she sees her son Isaac playing with Hagar's son Ishmael, tells Abraham to send Hagar and Ishmael away. Oh, my heart. And yet ours is no caravan of despair. When I return to Hagar, or Hajar in Arabic, and her son Ishmael, I hear her cry to God for protection, for water in the desert. And God sends an angel and water, which is great. May it be so. 2 million times over for everyone in Gaza. But it's not enough. Our hearts break because we haven't given up on a better world. And my broken heart wants to know, how do we build a world where Ishmael and Isaac actually get to grow up as brothers? No matter how much I pray for peace and simple survival and mourn the dead who will never be replaced, I haven't given up on more. Peace will only come when the sundered brothers can grow up together and know each other's hearts. And of course, call your elected officials and tell them how you are praying for peace and how you hope they will be part of creating a world of peace. Of course, do that. And connect with the grassroots peace movements here in the Valley and donate money when you can. People always need money. All of that. But also, this is not a story for two brothers far away. What if your personal Ishmael and Isaac can grow up as brothers? What does it take for us to see each person the world would tell us to be other as our sibling? To know they're thriving as our own? To love people not simply as not thinking ill of them and wanting them to have what we have so long as we don't have to do anything about it, but knowing that their well-being is essential to our own and making sure they have what they need, not just what we think they need. This might take some sacrifice, some reevaluation of what we have to offer, and it will definitely take some reevaluation of our role in creating peace. Because we have to approach everyone as an equal partner with equal dignity to counter the lie that we are not siblings. It takes a truly terrifying practice of opening to one another, of choosing love over winning, of truly being willing to know the hearts in each other, and to be willing to be known that deeply as well. Of being so vulnerable that our siblings meet us with vulnerability as well. And oh, does it hurt to be that vulnerable, not knowing whether our siblings will match us in vulnerability. Our hearts break over and over again because we haven't given up. That is essential to the practice of peace. Though we have broken our vows 1,000 times, we come back to one another as siblings and dare to offer one another our hearts, our prayers for peace. Come yet again, come.
Daun
Our hearts break because we have not given up on a better world. And knowing this does not break our hearts any less. We are so full of this life, with all of its tragedies, losses, milestones, joys, and frustrations. Let us build a holy silence to hold one another in this moment. I invite you to speak into our silence the names of those you would surround in our congregation's love this day. May they be held in care. Lucy and Terry are going to pass Joys and Sorrows slips that are in the basket, and there are pencils in the basket as well. Think of this as a reverse offering. I invite you to write a joy or sorrow on the slip of paper and to place it on the plate in front of the chalice. On Zoom, let's do it. Yeah. On Zoom, you are welcome to write your joy or sorrow in the chat or to email it to caring@uusocietyamherst.org. We will have regular spoken joys and sorrows again next week. As Brenda plays our meditation music, I invite you to light candles on the altar behind me for the names you spoke and the joys and sorrows of your heart. May we hold all of these joys. May we hold all of these joys and sorrows in our hearts. I invite you to respond. Our hearts are broken. After 2 years spent in grief and rage, our hearts are broken. For the victims of the Hamas attack on October 7th, 2023, for 1,195 people killed, for the 251 taken hostage, for all of their families and loved ones, our hearts are broken. For the victims of Israel's response in Gaza, over 66,000 people killed, more than 18,000 of them children, 100,000 wounded, 500,000 starving, 39,000 children orphaned, and 1.9 million people displaced. Our hearts are broken. For over 200 journalists and over 200 humanitarian relief workers killed, our hearts are broken. For the people of Gaza desperately in need of food, water, medicine, fuel, help, supplies, shelter, and every basic human need, our hearts are broken. For 995 people killed in the occupied West Bank, our hearts are broken. For 2,000 people killed in Lebanon and more than 1 million displaced, our hearts are broken. For the victims of war in Myanmar, Congo, Sudan, Ukraine, and conflict everywhere, our hearts are broken. For children who grow up in war and conflict, and those who never get the chance, our hearts are broken. For all people who live in fear, our hearts are broken. For the anti-Semitism and Islamophobia among us, our hearts are broken. For long histories of injustice, our hearts are broken. For all people who live in fear, our hearts are broken. For our government's practice of instrumentalizing other countries for advantage, our hearts are broken. For our members, friends, and neighbors who are praying for the safety of loved ones in danger, our hearts are broken. For the laments of our hearts, which we hold up to the silence, our hearts are broken. For the hope, once again, of ceasefire, of a chance to live and rebuild in Gaza, for the return of hostages, for peace, for peace, for peace, we pray. Our hearts break because we cannot give up on a better world. So long as we believe it's worth working for, we will not give up. May it be so. May we make it so. Amen. Please remain seated to sing our meditation hymn, Loosen. And the words are right on the screen and not your order of service, we found out this morning.
Weight of the world in your muscles and bones. am Ann Perkins, a member of the Dedicated Offering Committee here. And I don't know about the rest of you, but I kept hearing the news, reading the news this summer about the starvation in Gaza and getting more and more distressed about it and feeling like we should be doing something about it and what to do. And then I read an article or a letter, I don't know which it was, in the Gazette by Rabbi Devorah Jacobson and Jeff Gold and a couple of others. And I thought they suggested sending money to the Gaza soup kitchen. But I wanted to see if we could have them here to talk more about the situation with Gaza and with the Gaza soup kitchen. So I reached out to Rachel and reached out to them, found their contact. So they're here today, and I'd like to introduce the two of them to you. And let's see if I can get this to work. So Devorah Jacobson, did I say your name wrong a minute ago? Yes, I did. Anyway, it's Devorah Jacobson, is a rabbi who recently retired after serving 24 years as a multi-faith healthcare chaplain at JGS Life Care in Longmeadow, serving frail elderlies in the nursing home, assisted living and hospice. Prior to that, she was a Hillel director at Washington University, the Claremont Colleges, and Williams. She is married to Margaret Mastrangelo, and they have one son who lives with his wife in Austin, Texas. She is an avid tennis player, hiker, and cyclist, and bikes every year. And of course, it just moved. I might get through this. And she bikes every year in the Pan Mass Challenge, raising money, don't worry about it, for the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute. She co-chairs the JCA, Jewish Community Center Reparations Committee with Jeff Gold, volunteers for the Amherst Survival Center and the Pioneer Valley Workers Center. Jeff Gold, PhD, is a mostly retired clinical psychologist who spent his professional career working with traumatized children and adolescents and their multi-stress families. Along with Rabbi Devorah Jacobson, he co-chairs the JCA's Reparation Committee. Along with others from this committee, he co-created the Stolen Beam Educational Series in 2021, a course on reparations for African Americans whose descendants were enslaved. Did you mean antecedents were enslaved? That's what I thought. And Jeff worked with the Massachusetts State League of Women Voters to write a league study which resulted in the State League supporting a reparations resolution this past June. Jeff is also a member of Bridge for Unity and Bridging the Divide Coalition, a local group of Jews, Palestinians, Arabs, and other individuals of Muslim descent who have worked together around Israel-Palestine. So I welcome you both. Please come up and speak to us. And Amy, thank you.
The Kaddish is a liturgical piece recited 3 times daily among traditional Jews in response to the death of a loved one. Avram Berg, former leader of the Israeli Knesset, recently wrote this Kaddish. Here are excerpts. Yitgadal v'hitkadash shemei rabbah, may your great name be magnified and sanctified. Not great and not holy are you, for in your name blood is spilled in vain. Magnified and sanctified are only these, the impulse of inciters and destroyers, the heaps of ruin and the rows of graves, the cries of terror and the silence imposed. There is no holiness in this blood, no greatness in this bereavement. And who shall say Kaddish after their beds and their deaths, the multitudes of human lives cut off by the cruelty of spirits defiled?
Be'alma divra, in the world which you created. God of truth, are you still alive? Why did you create your world? For love, for playing in the sands of the shore, for celebrating birthdays and hoping, for music and for building, for living and for bringing forth life. But look down from heaven and see your emissaries in Gaza and its envelope ruin worlds with curses, bind children with bombs, beloved with graves, whole communities extinguished and towns wiped out.
Uvahaye de Chalbeit Yisrael, and in the life of all of the house of Israel, and in the life of all of the house of Palestine, and in the life of all the children of this tortured land. Blood does not halt at checkpoints. Bereavement knows no boundaries. A Jewish mother and a Palestinian mother, alike in their grief, bow down beneath the canopy of silence. A Jewish father and a Palestinian father, hearts broken as one, all four mourn, and only the names upon the stones differ. If from all this only one prayer might ascend, let it be this.
Yehei Shlama Rabba Min Shemaya, may there be abundant peace from heaven. Grant peace. Peace that is not an empty prayer, not a parable, not a distant dream, but peace that breathes life into lands of the shadow of death. Oseh Shalom B'Mamav, the one who makes peace in your heights. If you are mighty, O Lord, raise not the dead from their graves, let them rest. Only restore the hopes. And until you return from captivity, hibernation, or demise, we in our own strength shall make peace upon us, and upon all the dwellers of this land, and upon all creation. For this is all of humanity, and let us say, Amen. With the Jewish New Year just behind us, we come here with much gratitude. Thank you for inviting us to enjoy your abundant hospitality and to share a brief message, knowing that not all present may agree with it. We share, too, the pain that so many of us are holding, some since October 7th, 2023, and some for decades. Along with most of you, we too have witnessed the horrors and the mass suffering, the starvation and slaughter of Palestinian men, women, and children in Gaza. As Jews deeply committed to the Jewish tradition, especially its powerful prophetic and ethical teachings, we have struggled with the way many people have justified what we see as a spiritual and moral catastrophe. This includes the devastation of Gaza and the Jewish tribal violence committed against the Palestinian people in our name, and in the name of safety, self-determination, and ethno-national supremacy.
As two white Jews born in this country and afforded numerous benefits and privileges, we worry about the voices out there, especially state commissions like the one currently occurring in our state, Massachusetts, that seek to simplify the realities of anti-Semitism in this country, which we believe must be clearly understood. They seek to conflate anti-Zionism or criticism of Israel's military policies with anti-Semitism. We believe this actually makes Jews less safe and confers impunity on the ongoing Israeli violence and cruelty against the Palestinian people in both Gaza and the West Bank. Especially since the aid blockade of Gaza in March of this year, the entire population has faced unspeakable starvation. In its September 1st issue, the New York Times even focused on the uniqueness of what is going on there, including descriptions of the difference between hunger and starvation that make you want to quickly turn the page. Describing the final moments of starvation, a doctor in Gaza said, I quote, "This is when children stop crying, when the body no longer has enough energy left even to shed tears. Doctors know," he went on to say, "that hunger is different than starvation. Hunger is a transient pain, but starvation is the moment when the body begins to devour itself. Blood sugar plummets, muscles dissolve, immunity collapses, wounds cease to heal, and even the heart disintegrates, converting itself into energy. Parents describe their children wasting away right in front of them, their voices fading as though life itself is being drained from them."
In our opinion piece that appeared in the Gazette 2 months ago, we recommended that donations be made to the Gaza Soup Kitchen for 2 reasons. Firstly, while there are several other worthy organizations operating in Gaza that are doing incredible work under conditions of bombing, scarcity, and fear, like World Central Kitchen, the Gaza Soup Kitchen is not an outside group. Founded in 2024 by 2 brothers, Hani and Mahmoud al-Madhoun, as part of their personal vow to ensure that their neighbors would not go hungry, Gaza Soup Kitchen serves the community through kitchen sites throughout the Strip. Because the Palestinian narratives, lives, and voices in general are often overlooked, we wanted to center the Palestinian people and the critical work they are doing. Secondly, the Gaza Soup Kitchen comes highly recommended by sources we respect and trust, including the voice of journalist, professor, and author Peter Beinart. That offered a level of credibility that felt important to us, given that we are not experts on the work of aid agencies, and we are not on the ground witnessing what is actually going on and how food is actually being procured and distributed. Like many of you, we are informed by what we read and hear from those whom we trust.
Just days ago, on Rosh Hashanah, the Jewish New Year, and at the end of Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement, we sounded the shofar, the ram's horn, to signal a new beginning for our community and for each of us individually. In the words of the Jewish philosopher Maimonides, we blow the shofar and try to take in its piercing sounds, to be awakened from our slumber, to be called to a reckoning. For us, the starvation that we are witnessing must call each one of us out of our slumber and bring us to a necessary and timely reckoning.
Let the sounds of the shofar remind us that while there are limits to how much we can do, we are here, each one of us, as sacred vessels, seeking to connect our prayers and rituals to more deeds of kindness and more acts of justice.
Tekiah, Shavarim, Tekiah Chedolah, Thank you.
Thank you, Devorah and Jeff. Half of the money collected in our offering today supports the programs of our congregation, and the other half of the money today and throughout the month of October will support Gaza Soup Kitchen in their good and life-saving work. Please give generously today in the basket, by text, by check, or through our website, uusocietyamherst.org, give/donate. I invite you to join me in the words to extinguish our chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. We're about to sing our closing song. You are welcome to stay right where you are and be held in the love of our congregation, or rise and move into a circle along the outer aisle. Place your hands over your heart or hold hands with those near you as we sing This Day We Come. Our hearts break because we still believe a better world is possible. Though you have broken your vows 1,000 times, ours is no caravan of despair. May all people be held in the circle of love. Amen.